Hello and welcome to this video. Prince Philip reportedly made Queen Elizabeth II cry with almost brutal behaviour when she refused to give their children his surname of Mountbatten. The Duke of Edinburgh turned 98 yesterday, 2 years after announcing his retirement from royal duties, even though he might have celebrated the milestone birthday with his wife, the Queen. Royal sources suggested the pair are now leading separate lives and don't see each other for weeks. Charlie Proctor, editor of Royal Central, told Daily Star Online that Philip spends little time at Buckingham Palace, as he views it more like a workplace rather than his home. He said, unlike most married couples, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh often live miles apart, with Prince Philip spending hardly any time at Buckingham Palace these days. Despite now spending more time apart than before, Philip and the Queen reportedly speak on the phone every day. Over the last 72 years, the pair have maintained a strong and stable bond, with the Queen describing the Duke of Edinburgh as my strength and stay. However, according to a newly resurfaced biography, there was a particular feud that caused a lot of tension and division in their marriage, which reportedly left the Queen in tears. When Elizabeth's father, King George VI, died and the Queen ascended the throne in 1952, the Duke of Edinburgh wanted his children, Prince Charles and Princess Anne, to take his family name Mountbatten. However, former Prime Minister Winston Churchill, Elizabeth's grandmother, Queen Mary, and the Queen Mother all strongly believed that the royal family name should remain Windsor. The Queen sided with the older Windsor generation and rejected her husband's wish. On April 9, 1952, the monarch issued a public declaration and confirmed that her children will be styled and known as the House and Family of Windsor. Philip was said to be heartbroken and told his friends that he felt like a bloody amoeba, as he was the only man in the country not allowed to give his name to his own children. He refused to let the matter drop, and when the Queen was pregnant with Prince Andrew in 1960, she told then Prime Minister Harold Macmillan that she absolutely needed to revisit the issue of the family name because it had been irritating her husband since 1952. In the biography, Miss Bedell Smith cited an entry in Mr. Macmillan's diary in which he wrote, "The Queen only wishes to do something to please her husband, with whom she is desperately in love. What upsets me is the Prince's almost brutal attitude to the Queen over all of this. I shall never forget what she said to me that Sunday night at Sandringham." Mr. Macmillan passed the problem on to his deputy, Rab Butler, and the Lord Chancellor Lord Kilmore. Mr. Butler told Macmillan in a telegram that the Queen had absolutely set her heart on making a change for the Duke's sake. Mr. Bedell Smith noted, by one account, Butler confided to a friend that Elizabeth had been in tears. On February 8, 1960, 11 days before the birth of Prince Andrew, a compromise was reached as the Queen made a new declaration in Privy Council, saying that she had adopted Mountbatten Windsor as a name for all her descendants who do not enjoy the title of His or Her Royal Highness. The surname first appeared on an official document on November 14, 1973, when Princess Anne chose to sign marital documents with Mountbatten Windsor when she wed Captain Mark Phillips at Westminster Abbey. Its legacy endures today too. After Meghan Markle and Prince Harry welcomed their firstborn son into the world recently, his name was confirmed as Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. Philip's passion for the Mountbatten name is perhaps understandable. He gave up his royal titles before proposing to the then Princess Elizabeth and took on the surname Mountbatten, sacrificing his previous title, Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark. The name comes from his maternal grandfather, Prince Louis of Battenberg, who naturalised as a British citizen and anglicised the family name. A similar change was made in the royal family too. King George V dropped the Saxe-Coburg and Gotha name in favour of Windsor in July 1917. It came at the height of World War I and was considered essential to keep the public on side while British troops fought Imperial Germany and France. The move has since been called the royal family's best marketing exercise by historian Dr. David Starkey. The Queen's relationship with the Duke of Edinburgh has survived for as long as it has because they are genuine soulmates. Speaking in 2013, royal biographer Philip Dampier recalled the moment Her Majesty first met the Duke of Edinburgh. He said, "From then on, he was the only one for her. She was absolutely determined that he was the man she was going to marry, despite opposition from some courtiers who thought Philip was unsuitable." Even when George VI reportedly expressed doubt over his daughter's choice of groom, amid concerns about how the British public would take to their future monarch marrying a Greek prince. Philip's loud, boisterous laugh and his blunt, seagoing manners also helped shape an unsympathetic approach from George. However, when Philip asked the king for his daughter's hand in marriage, his request was granted, but with one condition. Although the couple were engaged, it was initially kept secret from the public until Elizabeth's 21st birthday. She turned 21 in April 1947, marking the occasion with the famous speech where she dedicated her life to the service of the nation. The formal engagement announcement was issued in July 1947, over a year after Philip actually proposed to the young princess at Balmoral Castle. The Queen married Prince Philip on November the 20th, 1947. Thank you for watching this video. For the latest in celebrity news, please subscribe to my channel.